Welcome to today's edition of Singles Are Married Today. My name is Judith Daniel Imagoro, and I'm your regular host on this broadcast. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a very powerful topic. It's about your thoughts and your relationship. Thoughts are very powerful force on earth. Everything you can relate with today was first a thought before it became a reality. You are a product of thoughts. Marriage is a product of thoughts. It was first a thought in God's heart before it became the most powerful institution on earth. You can never be better than you think of yourself. Your relationship can never be better than you think of it to become. The more negative you think of your spouse, the worse they become. God thinks of us. He never thinks of our shortcomings. If you will learn to think of the positive side of your spouse, it will help them to put in their best in the relationship. Your spouse can never become better than you imagine him to become. Nobody can think of you to be more valuable than you think of yourself. So the question is, in your thought life, what name does your spouse bear? A fool? A stingy man? An idiot? A cheat? A dirty woman? An ugly woman? Whatever name you call them in your thought world, that's who they will ever become. This is not religion, it's practical. What you think of any person determines how you relate to them. And how you relate with any person determines how they'll relate back with you. Have you noticed that if you think of any person to be very civilized, when you're around them, you tend to behave very civilized. And together you have a civilized environment. But if you think of them as a fool, you behave to them as though you're dealing with a fool, and they become more foolish to you. You have to learn to think well of your spouse if you want to enjoy a good relationship. The reason why a lot of people have failed marriages and failed relationships is because of their thinking pattern. They had thought that, how am I sure this will work? Because they are doubtful, they don't put in their best. And because they did not put in their best, nothing good can come out of the relationship. Change your thinking pattern. It will help you to improve on your character. And once you improve on your character, it will help your relationship with others. God never thinks of our shortcomings. He relates to us based on what we will become. If you learn to relate with your spouse based on what they will become, not what they are right now, you will find out that your relationship will become better. Imagine the kind of relationship you want to have. Then begin to behave to your spouse on that thought. And the more you behave to them nicely based on your future plans or based on your desires, the more they relate back to you in that manner. And together you have a better relationship. Consciously guide your thoughts, because if you think wrongly, you will behave wrongly. That was why the Bible advised us to guide our heart with all diligence, because out of it are the issues of life. The strongest pollution in marriage is formed in the heart, and you give expression to it through your mouth. Marriage is formed in the heart. Separation and divorce is also formed in the heart. So when you guide your heart and you think well of your spouse, you will end up with a better relationship. A lot of people fail in relationship because of the mentality that I hope it will work. Not that it will work because they see it working. If you can take Philippians 4:8 in your relationship or your marriage, you have a beautiful home. Philippians 4:8 says, "Finally, my brethren, whatsoever that is pure, whatsoever that is true, whatsoever that is honorable, whatsoever is just, whatsoever is lovely, whatsoever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Whatsoever you've learned and received and heard or seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you." The only way to have God and His peace in your marriage is when you start thinking about lovely things. That is what God advises us. There is one thing we know about God, and He told us about it. He thinks well of us. If you learn to think well of your spouse, you will have a beautiful marriage. When you become to your spouse what God is to you, your home will become God's kind of homes. Ways to develop positive thoughts towards your spouse. Number 1, guide what you hear. Number 2, think of them in the stature they will become. Number 3, know it's human to err. Number 4, make allowances for mistakes in your heart. Number 5, do it for the benefit of peace it will bring. Number 6, know that it always brings benefits when you obey God's law. Number 7, be grateful at where they are per time. When you are able to develop positive thoughts, it affects your relationship in a positive way. It helps you to avoid keeping grudges. It helps to build affection between you and your spouse. It helps you to have constant agreements. Ways thoughts affect your relationship in a negative way. It helps you to be rude to your spouse. It helps you to be disrespectful. It helps you to be unhappy. And finally, it could help you to end the relationship. Thank you for listening to this broadcast. We are committed to partner with you to build your spiritual, physical, and emotional life. And we want you to partner with us to reach more people with this profound message. To partner with us, kindly use the details on the screen. God bless you.